There are certain things that you can say to a woman that will attract her to you like a magnet, right? There's that magnetic attraction where she feels drawn to you, and it's an irresistible type of pull towards you. And to do this, it requires you to say some things at times that will feel forbidden. It will feel like, I don't know if I should really say this. Am I allowed to say this? Is it okay to say something like this? But if you just push yourself to say it, you will see the woman's reaction. You will see her attraction switch on, her eyes light up, and you will see that she starts to feel drawn to you. But most guys never discover this. Most guys never figure it out. And for most guys who watch this video, they won't have the courage to say it, even though they learn the examples. But if you try it, you will see for yourself that it draws women to you. So the first statement is, you're too young for me. And how this may come up, for example, is you're talking to a younger woman and say she's about 21 and say, for example, you're about 30, 35, something like that, or maybe even 40. And she's feeling attracted to you. And then she says, wait, how old are you? And you have a bit of a smirk on your face, a bit of a smile. And you say, put it this way, I think you might be too young for me. And as a result, she then feels rejected in a playful type of way. It's not a serious rejection. And if you've been making her feel attracted prior to that, she's feeling attracted to you, and that's why she wants to confirm how old you are, she will then naturally feel some desire to want to prove that she's on your level and it could work between you and her, or that she doesn't have a problem with that type of age difference. Versus, for example, if a guy is 35 and she's 21 and she says, wait, how old are you? And he says, oh, I'm 35, is that okay? Or that type of response is not going to attract a woman like a magnet. It's going to repel her because he's being self-doubting and is already making it out to be a problem, even though for her, it might not actually be a problem. She might like older guys, but he's saying it in that apologetic type of way. He's seeking her validation, her approval, and that's not attractive to women. So with this first example, it's not as if you have to go around saying to women that they're too young for you everywhere you go. Instead, it's more about getting comfortable with the idea of playfully rejecting women at times. The reason why it's important to get comfortable with that is that if the woman is attractive, she will rarely, if ever, get rejected. So when you're able to do it in a playful way, it lights her up. She can't believe that you would potentially push an opportunity with her away, when pretty much every other guy is hoping to get a chance with her. She feels like she's going to have to do more to win you over. And that's part of what creates the magnetic attraction. It's an experience that most men aren't able to give a woman because they're just hoping that the woman will give them a chance. The next example is, well, you know what they say, cute girls are always bad kissers. When you say that in an attractive way with some confidence, some presence, some courage, and you're being relaxed about it, you're just being playful about it, she feels that playful pressure now to prove that she's not a bad kisser. And she may say that to you, or if she doesn't want to say anything about it, she's still feeling that playful pressure now where you're potentially thinking that she might be a bad kisser. So it's a bit of playful fun, and it creates that conversation about kissing between you and her. And something else that's going on is that you're also flirting with the woman. Where's the flirting? Well, you said that cute girls are always bad kissers. So you're saying that she's cute. And you're also playfully hinting at the idea that you and her may kiss. Flirting is where you show sexual interest in a woman, but you do it in a playful or non-serious way. To say it in a serious way would be to say something like, oh, you're very cute, I'm thinking about kissing you. Or you're very cute and I'd like to kiss you. It's very serious, and essentially you're putting the woman in a position where she has to make a yes or no decision. But flirting is where she doesn't have to make a yes or no decision, and there's a subtle understanding between you and her that you find each other sexually attractive. And in the case where you say something like, well, you know what they say, cute girls are always bad kissers, then the challenge is set, right? In the moment, she either has to accept that she is a bad kisser and that she's cute, or she has to try to prove herself to you, where she either wants to kiss you or she either wants to say that she's not a bad kisser, that she's a good kisser. And if she says that she's a good kisser, then you say to her, prove it. Then the sexual tension between you and her is building. And you've said something that many guys would feel like is a forbidden statement. You can't say that cute girls are bad kissers. She might get offended by that. She might think that you're insulting her, but women don't see it in that way. Instead, They see it as flirtatious, they find it funny, and women refer to guys like that as a challenge. And what happens in the woman's mind is that she's feeling attracted to you, and she feels like she's going to need to do more now and be very attractive and appealing to you in order to get a chance with you. So it's no longer a case of being like a typical guy who's handing himself on a silver platter to the woman and hoping that she's going to give him a chance. Instead, you're being one of the rare guys who can actually make a woman feel attracted and subtly push her away in a playful way. Right? It's not done in a serious way. It's not to the point where you say, well, you know what they say, like cute girls are always bad kisses. And being way too serious about it, taking it seriously. Instead, these sorts of things are said in a playful way, in an easygoing way, in a flirtatious way. And that's what makes it land with the woman. That's what makes it work. She senses that you're not being a prick, you're not being an asshole, you're not trying to hurt her or anything like that. Instead, it's just playful flirting. It's a bit of playful teasing. It's a bit of playfully challenging behavior. And that's why women don't get offended or angry about it. Whereas if it's serious behavior and serious statements, it's a completely different thing. For example, if a guy says, "You're too young for me," or "Oh no, you're too old for me," then that sort of statement is going to feel insulting to the woman because it's the same type of words, but it's said with a different intention, different tonality, and the woman is going to feel different as a result, right? So if you are saying things with confidence and in a playfully challenging way or in a flirtatious way, then the woman feels attracted to that, and therefore it is welcomed, because a woman wants to be with a man who is making her feel attracted. And when she senses that he's saying it in a playful way and he's not trying to hurt her, then it's welcomed. Right? It's something that feels forbidden. It feels bad to say that she's too young for you or she's too old for you or that, you know, she may be a bad kisser. But when you say it in the right way, it triggers so much attraction inside of women that they feel attracted to you like a magnet. So let's get on to the third one. If she seems a bit naughty, rebellious, or sexual, you can say something like, "You're such a bad girl," or "You're such a bad girl." So this one is not going to apply to every type of woman. This one is going to be in a specific type of case, as I mentioned. If she seems sexual, if she seems a bit rebellious, if she seems naughty, then it's applicable. But if she's just a shy, innocent type of girl who's being really nice and you say to her that she's such a bad girl, it's not going to make sense. But if you come across a woman who's a bit naughty, a bit sexual, a bit rebellious, then saying something like, "You're such a bad girl," is going to be a connect for her, because she's going to see that you recognize that she's not an innocent type of girl who wouldn't have sex with you on the first date or the first night. And she gets a sense that she's not going to have to put on an act of being more innocent and gentle around you. And instead, if you, for example, were to say to her, "Let's get out of here, let's go hang out at my place," when you're at a bar or party, or at the end of the date, if you were to say, "Let's go chill out at my place," then she knows that you're most likely going to be the sort of guy who isn't afraid to make a move sexually when you get her home. When the door closes at your apartment or your house, you turn around and she's standing there, and you're most likely going to have the confidence to move in and put your arms around her and start kissing her. Rather than thinking that she wouldn't be open to something like that happening, and instead treating her like a lady who would never have sex right away or kiss right away, and talking to her for 2 hours or 3 hours, and then she realizes that the guy just doesn't get it. Right? He doesn't get that she is down. Right? She's ready to get it on. Like, make a move already. But when a guy has already said to her at some point, "You're such a bad girl," or "You're such a bad girl," or "You're such a bad girl, I like it," then she knows that he's most likely the sort of guy who's not going to be afraid to make a move on her. And in some cases, it may even result in him making a move on her right then and there. If he says that, and she then smiles and she dips her chin down in a flirtatious, submissive type of gesture, and then he just puts his arm around her and brings her into him. And moments later, they start kissing. Now compare that to a guy who is interacting with a woman who's a bit naughty, a bit rebellious, a bit sexual, and he's feeling stunned. He doesn't really know what to do with it. And he's using his typical approach of just being nice and trying to get along with the woman. What happens then? The woman realizes that he probably can't handle a woman like her, and that if she went home with him after the first or second date, or if they were at a party or a bar or something like that, and she went home with him, he'll probably be timid in the bedroom. He'll probably be a nice guy in the bedroom. it probably won't be a match for her in terms of who she is as a person. And as I said, this isn't something that applies to every woman. This is not something that you say to a nice girl who isn't displaying naughty, rebellious, sexual type of behavior. It's just not going to be a match for a woman like her. But if you come across a sexy woman who's being a bit naughty, has a bit of a sexual side, and you can see that, then you have an opportunity now to attract her to you and create that connect where she realizes that if she went home with you, then you would do her, right? You would be the sort of guy who wouldn't be afraid to make a move, and it would be enjoyable for her. So, number 4, you're not really my type, but you're cute. So when you flip the situation around like this, where you're not hoping to try to get a chance with a woman, and instead you're being the assessor, the chooser, the decider, and you're able to say something like, you're not really my type, but you're cute. She now wants to find out what your type is and whether she fits into that in any way, or if she should try to adjust herself in the moment to become your type for the night or for life. And once again, though, it doesn't work if a guy says it while not displaying attractive traits. So, for example, if a guy says it with nervousness, you're not really my type, but you're cute. That's not going to work, obviously. The woman can see the fear all over the guy's face. He's nervous, he's doubting himself, he feels apologetic for saying that sort of thing, and as a result, she's feeling turned off. Women are turned off by emotional weakness in men and turned on by emotional strength. So if you display non-physical traits that are based on emotional strength, such as confidence, presence, courage, and so on, then the woman feels attracted to you while you're saying it. So, for example, you're not really my type, but you're cute. Then she's feeling attracted, because there was also a bit of flirting in there as well, a bit of a subtle sexual vibe as well. And she can sense that the guy is being playful about it, right? So it's not intended to hurt her, and it's not a serious statement to the point where a guy says, you're not really my type, but I mean, you're cute. Even though it's the same words, the woman is going to receive that as an insult. The guy's trying to hurt her. He's being a bit of a prick, an arsehole, and it's not going to work. But when you say it while displaying traits that attract the woman, now she feels like she's going to be losing something if she doesn't try to figure out what your type is and try to prove herself to you. And in the process of her trying to get you to want her, it attracts her to you like a magnet, right? She is feeling attracted to you. She wants to be with you. She's hoping to get a chance with you. She's hoping to win you over. She's hoping to get you to like her more. You've completely flipped the dynamic, and you're giving her the type of feeling and experience that she desperately searches for, but cannot find, because most guys have no idea how to attract women. So they just try to be nice to women and get along with them and try to put their best foot forward in the hope that the woman will give them a chance. But what makes a woman feel attracted to you like a magnet is when she has to come at you. And you can make her come at you, be drawn to you, be trying to get with you based on how you say something to her, based on how you react to things. You can have the same physical appearance, but the woman will have a completely different feeling about you, and you will get completely different behavior from her if you say something in one way versus another way. On that note, this is something that a guy can say when it comes to that point in the interaction where he and the woman are going to exchange numbers, and it's obvious that she's very attracted to him. He is definitely going to get the number. She definitely wants to exchange numbers with him. And he then adds in that bit of playful rejection where he says something like, I'll give you my number, but only if you promise not to booty call me tonight. I see the way you've been looking at me. Or, I'll give you my number, but only if you promise not to text me 10 times a day. Just take it easy. Or, I'll give you my number, but only if you promise not to text me too often. And the woman knows that you're only playfully messing with her. However, at the same time, you are also in that position where you are the chooser, you are the selector, you are the decider, you are the assessor, and she's feeling that dynamic between you and her. She feels like you have the upper hand, and she's going to need to continue to impress you to make sure that she doesn't lose her chance with you, and she's not going to want to lose her chance with you because you're able to make her feel so attracted. You're able to make her feel that magnetic attraction where she wants to win you over. She's coming at you. Another example that will feel forbidden for a lot of guys or feel like they can't say this sort of thing is when she's hitting on you, or she seems like she's really starting to feel attracted to you and really like you. You say something like, get away from me, I can't have you around. You're way too cute and way too tempting. And once again, you're playfully pushing the woman away, which is exciting and enjoyable for her when she's feeling attracted to you and attracts her to you like a magnet, because she now feels like she has to do more to be able to get with you sexually and romantically. But What usually happens for a girl, what usually happens for a woman is that if she's showing a guy that she finds him attractive and she seems to be hitting on him, the guy's usually very excited. The guy's feeling like, okay, cool, I'm going to get laid here, and he wants to keep pulling the woman towards him. And he can definitely get results with that type of approach if the woman is very attracted to him. But if he wants to amp up her attraction and make her go crazy for him and really want to rip his clothes off sort of thing, and have that type of desire for him, then he can say something that will feel a bit forbidden. Will feel like it's bad to say something like that, and he may even ruin his chance with her. But it doesn't. It just amps the woman's attraction up even more. So for example, she seems to be hitting on you. She really seems to be attracted to you. And then you say something like, get away from me, I can't have you around. You're way too cute, way too tempting. Women love that sort of thing because it gives them some subtle permission to be the sexual aggressor, to start making moves on you, to start showing even more attraction for you. And the woman feels like she wants sex to happen. It's sort of like when you get a woman back to your place and you've kissed her and it's starting to heat up, and then you say something like, we don't have to have sex. And the woman then feels like, no, I want to have sex, right? She feels so attracted to you. She's feeling turned on after you and her have been kissing. And she knows that it's most likely then going to lead to potentially having sex. And you've just now said, we don't have to have sex. And the woman now feels like, hang on, but I want it. Right? And she then starts to grope you more. She starts to show more interest. She starts taking off your shirt, so to speak. And you're giving her that subtle permission to be the sexual aggressor, to make moves on you. And that's so attractive to the woman. So the next example is, I don't know if you're the coolest girl I've ever met or the craziest one. Another example, you know what? If I were into blondes, I'd probably really like you. And of course, she would be a blonde, and you may, for example, be into brunettes or women with black hair. And because you've been attractive to her in your behavior leading up to that point, and you're saying it in an attractive way, she's now feeling like she's losing something. Why don't you like her that she's a blonde? How can she get you to like her more? And there's flirting in there as well, where you're saying that you'd probably really like her. So it suggests that you like who she is as a person, you like her personality, but you seem to be rejecting her based on her hair color because you may be into brunettes or women with black hair or something like that. But because she gets the sense that you're really only being playful with it, she's going to laugh, she's going to smile, and she's going to ask you further about that. Or she's going to say that blondes are hotter, or blondes have more fun, or if you've never been with a blonde, you may like it, or something like that. She's going to try to sell herself to you. Or she may just laugh and playfully hit you on the side of the arm to let you see that she gets it. She gets that you're only flirting with her, that you're messing with her. But at the end of the day, what really makes her feel attracted to you is that she now has to do more. She has to prove herself to you. She has to make you like her more. And that's a very rare experience for a woman to have. Most guys are essentially offering themselves on a silver platter, hoping that the woman gives them a chance. But if you can say something like this, it lights a woman up. You'll see her eyes light up. You'll see her smile and feel attracted to you in an excited way. She'll be coming at you. Another example, hey, you know what? You have beautiful eyes. And then pause, because most guys will give that type of compliment to a woman, hoping that it will get them a chance with her, that she'll be wowed by it. But you then pull the rug out from underneath her in a playful way by saying, they're almost as beautiful as mine, right? So you're saying, hey, you know what? You have beautiful eyes. They're almost as beautiful as mine. And that's what's going to give her that playful shock in the moment, where she realizes that you're not a typical nice guy who's just giving her a compliment on her eyes and hoping to get a chance with her as a result of that. Another example, you're too much of a nice girl for me. And then she wants to prove that she can be naughty, that she can be bad, that she can be sexual. Another example, you're crazy, you know that? I don't even know why I talk to you. And that can feel like a forbidden statement, because you don't say to a woman that she's crazy. And that's a bit of an insult. That's rude. But it's not done in a serious way. It's just a playful comment. If it was serious, then she's going to take it as an insult. But if a guy says something like, you're crazy, you know that? I don't even know why I talk to you. Then she knows that he's only messing with her, and he's going to say that after she's said something a bit crazy or silly, and it's then going to make sense. Another example, she drops something or is being clumsy. You'll never get into my pants if you keep doing things like that. Another example, damn, stop being so cute, girl. So that's flirting, but it's also playfully pushing the woman away, and she knows now that her behavior is making you feel attracted to her. Right, so she may have done something very feminine, very loving and warm, and is making you feel attracted. and you are then saying something like, damn, stop being so cute, girl. And that usually makes her want to be even cuter, even more attractive, even more appealing to you. And as a result, she's trying to make you like her even more. And she's also feeling like she can be like that around you. You're letting her be like that, rather than what she experiences with most guys, where she'll be interacting with them and the guy will feel uncomfortable around her. He'll be feeling nervous and tense and unsure of himself. And as a result, she will start to feel awkward around him. She'll start to feel uncomfortable. And there'll be an uncomfortable dynamic between him and her. And as a result, she'll start to shut down that cute, loving, warm behavior. And she'll start to be a bit more cold, a bit more indifferent, reserved. And she won't be showing that loving, warm, flirtatious, girly side of herself that she will show to a guy who's able to bring that out in her, right? Where he's able to feel comfortable when she's behaving like that and be the masculine one in the dynamic between him and her, right? So for example, if she's being girly and feminine, what some guys will do is they'll start being giddy and silly and copying her behavior to hopefully get along with her. But that won't make her feel attracted. It'll just neutralize the attraction because there is no masculine and feminine. Instead, he's kind of like her girlfriend, like one of the girls sort of thing. But he's still a male, of course, but he feels more like one of the girls. And that is not going to make her feel that magnetic attraction that comes from the polarity between the masculine and feminine. So when you're able to bring more of a woman's feminine side out and she feels free to be like that around you, she naturally feels so much more attracted to you. The next example is a nice way of saying that you want to have sex with her, or let's get out of here sort of thing. And it's to say something like, I kind of want to have breakfast with you. And the woman knows what that means. It means that you and her sleep together, you wake up together in the morning, and you have breakfast together. And that's going to work if you've been making her feel sexually attracted to you. If your behavior has been sexually attractive and you've been triggering her feelings of attraction, she's then going to welcome a comment like that. She's going to feel like that is some really slick, smooth flirting. It's a really cool way of saying that, hey, I want to have sex with you. Let's get out of here sort of thing. So if she's feeling turned on and you say something like, I kind of want to have breakfast with you, that's going to work if you've been making her feel sexually attracted. But if you haven't been making her feel sexually attracted and you haven't been flirting with her and creating that private understanding between you and her, that you find each other sexually attractive and it's on between you and her, and instead you're just been talking to her in a friendly way, in a neutral way and getting along with her, and then you say something like, oh, I kind of want to have breakfast with you, or I kind of want to have breakfast with you, then it's not going to be well received because it's a one-sided attraction, right? You're feeling attracted to her and you're now essentially saying to her in a subtle type of way that you want to have sex with her, but because she's not feeling sexually attracted, because you haven't created that type of dynamic between you and her, now it's going to feel like it's sort of like you throwing a line out there and hoping that it's going to work. But she's not going to want to do that and her guard is going to start to go up because essentially the guy is saying to her, like, do you want to have sex? Yes or no? In a flirtatious way. He's using a flirtatious line, but because she's not feeling attracted, he's essentially putting her in a position where he is wanting some flirting back, but she's not going to feel like she wants to do that because there's no mutual sexual attraction. So a line like that will work if you've been making her feel sexually attracted, but don't just throw it out there if you've been nice to a woman and been getting along with her and there's no private understanding between you and her that you want to have sex with each other. It's just not going to work. But if you've done that, if you created that type of dynamic between you and her, and then you say something like you kind of want to have breakfast with her, when you're looking at her, she knows what's going on. She's feeling sexually attracted to you and she knows that you're looking at her in that sexual way, and it helps create more of that private understanding between you and her that you and her want to have sex, to the point where if you say something like that and she's giving you a flirtatious smile back and she is welcoming it and showing you that she's feeling a bit shy and submissive now, or she's maintaining eye contact with a smile and she seems to be enjoying it, then she's trying to communicate to you that, okay, it's on between you and her. So make a move. Another example is, that's a nice looking dress. Not too sure about the shoes though, but you gave it a try. And importantly, I have to point out here that it's said in a playful way, not a serious way. If that's said in a serious way, a woman will take that as an insult. She'll see that as rude and she won't see it as attractive behavior. She'll feel turned off by it. But if the woman gets a sense with the guy's intention, with his tonality, with his energy, that he's only playfully messing with her, then she'll see it as flirting. So if a guy says something like, that's a nice looking dress, Not too sure about the shoes though, but you gave it a try. The woman then is going to be playfully shocked, right? Her jaw may drop or she may laugh and playfully hit the guy on the side of the arm, right? She will get it. Right? She'll understand that he's only joking. Right? She'll understand that he's playfully messing with her. He's playfully teasing her. And women see that as flirting. And if the guy is worried about the woman potentially thinking that he's being serious, he can add in a bit more of a playful tonality when he is saying that she gave it a try, right? So he can say something like, "That's a nice looking dress." Not too sure about the shoes though, but you gave it a try. And the woman knows that the guy is only joking, right? He's not saying it in a serious way where he says something like, "That's a nice looking dress. I mean, I'm not too sure about the shoes though, but yeah, you gave it a try." The woman is then going to feel a bit insulted because he's being serious about it. But when you're being playful about it, you can get away with saying pretty much anything to a woman. And she'll find you attractive as a result because you have the confidence to say it, the courage, the social intelligence to say it in the right way. And when you do it in the right way, you're also going to be flirting with her, which creates that private understanding between you and her. And in the case of playfully saying something about, you're not too sure about the shoes though, but she gave it a try, you're just playfully messing with her. And what happens as a result of that is the woman senses now that you find her attractive enough that you want to flirt with her and communicate your sexual and romantic interest in her in a flirtatious way. And what it does for you and the woman is that rather than having to put on an act as though you're strangers and that you have to be polite with each other all the time and hopefully try to get to know each other and keep your guard up, you can drop your guard and be more easygoing and have that boyfriend-girlfriend vibe with each other already, that boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic where you're comfortable with each other, you're cool with each other, and you can say things like that. It helps to create some sparks between you and the woman so she realizes that you and her have that type of feeling together, where it's not just a friendly, polite, forgettable type of interaction. There are sparks flying back and forth between you and her. And when she's feeling that, she wants something to happen between you and her, right? Rather than her feeling like, well, she's just seeing the guy as a friendly type of guy. It's just a neutral type of conversation. It's going to be most likely forgettable. She's probably going to forget about him the moment the interaction ends. But when you're able to say some things that may feel a bit forbidden, it wakes the woman up. It creates those sparks between you and her, and then all she's really waiting for you to do is have the confidence to make a move. If you don't feel confident enough around women that you find attractive to the point where you believe in yourself, you believe that you're attractive enough for her, and you don't have the confidence to then make a move, then in most cases, you'll lose your opportunity with the woman because she would rather go without than be the one who has to kiss you first or ask you out. If you're creating enough attraction inside of her and giving her that subtle permission to be the sexual aggressor, then with some women, yes, they will be more touchy-feely with you and they'll make it way more obvious and they'll hug you first or something like that or get very close. But in most cases, even if the woman is being the one who's trying to move things forward and she's getting very close with you, she will still get to the point where she's close to your face, she's looking at you in the eyes, and she still wants you to then lean in and start kissing her. She still wants you to have the confidence to make a move. Now, that's with women who are actually going to be that forward. But with most women that you come across, they won't be that forward. They'll feel sexually attracted to you, they'll be feeling turned on, and they'll be hoping that you have the confidence to make a move, to move things forward, to believe in yourself. And if you don't have that type of confidence and you want it, it's what I teach in the first lesson at Master Attraction. In the first lesson, I teach you my best ever mindset for feeling confident around women that you find attractive and feeling confident enough and worthy enough to make a move, right? Rather than doubting yourself and losing your opportunity with the woman, you have the confidence to make a move. And this is not something that I only mastered myself and enjoyed my choice of women as a result of, but it's something that the guys who are part of my community and are learning the lessons are experiencing the benefits of. Guys who come along and learn from me, not only from the first lesson, but they continue to learn, experience results like this, where they kiss and have sex with women right away. Women are feeling so attracted to them that it happens for them right away. Even though for many guys, they've never done that before in their life, to the point where they've never gone to a party and ended up kissing a pretty girl and sleeping with her that night, or gone to a bar and had that experience, or gone on a first date with an attractive woman and had her stripping for them. had sex with an attractive woman and she then asks to be his girlfriend. These are the sort of results that guys are getting by learning the exclusive techniques and secrets and examples that I teach at Master Attraction and then applying that into their interactions with women. So if you want to have that type of power where women feel sexually attracted to you, they want to be with you, and you can enjoy your choice of women or get yourself a pretty girlfriend or wife, then head over to Master Attraction and start learning. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video here on YouTube.